Alright guys, so what's up? In this video, we're going to see how we can make this simple glassmorphic sort of a login screen where we have an icon and two text fields as well as a button and another text widget here. So this is going to be a row of text, and as you can see, this one is sort of bold. I'm very bad at typography, by the way. And this is an elevated button which is having a child text as well. So this is going to be so easy to make, guys. It's not as complicated as it looks, or maybe I'm overstating that. But anyway, let's get started. So to get everyone on the same page, what we have is the main dot, and which is returning a placeholder. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder called screens. And inside this folder, we're going to have a file called login. I'll say login screen dot. Then this is going to be a stateless widget. Then in this file, we're going to return a scaffold, which is going to have, I don't think it's going to have an up bar, just going to have a body. Then inside this body, we're going to return this container here. So before we do that, okay, let's just return this container first. Okay, then we give it a height of 100, width 300, and let's just give the height of 400. Then we can just come back to the main dot and just import this login screen. Okay, then I think we can just give this a background color of pink. So let's just refresh this. Okay, so this is what we currently have because we have cleared everything in here. This is what we currently have right now. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to have is a decoration for this container. So decoration, then say box decoration. Then we can just ignore this. Okay, so inside this text decoration, we're going to have a border radius. Which is going to be circular, and we give it a border radius of 20. Then we're going to have a border. Then this border is going to be border, which is going to say border.o. Then I strongly feel like we can give it a white color. White. Then we give it that opacity. So it's just opacity that we have to play around with that will make us have that glassy sort of a feel. So we give it an opacity of 0.2. Then a width of 1.5. Then outside here, inside the container, we're going to have a child, which is going to be a clip reg. What's going on? Okay. So this clip reg is going to confine its children to have a rounded radii. So what we're going to do in here is give it a border radius. Yeah, I think let's start this one now. Then I think we give it a circular. Then we can give it 20. Then what we're going to have is a backdrop, which is going to be like the filter for the. This is actually going to make. This is going to be a child, by the way. It's said it's going to be a child, and we say backdrop. Backdrop filter. So these are the filters that we're going to have. So let's start this a bit. Okay. So we're going to say image filter. Image filter dot blur. So we're going to blur it a bit. Then we give it a sigmax, which is going to be 10. On both sides, both the x and the y axis. Then in here, inside the backdrop filter, we're going to have a child, of which is again going to be a container. So this is that container that's going to have the children that we saw in the. It's going to have a child column that's going to hold all the widgets that we saw on the screen, apart from the container. So it's going to hold the text field. It's going to hold the two text fields, one for the username and the other one for the password. And it's going to have a row of text, which is going to say, don't have an account, sign up, and a login button, the elevated button down there. So I think let's see what we have that we can do in here. So the first thing that we're going to have is the decoration. Okay. Then the border radius. The circular. Then we're going to give it a border radius just like all these others. We're going to give it a border radius of 20. And then outside here, inside the container, we're going to have a child, which is going to be a column. Then this column is going to have children. Okay, we can just ignore this blue squiggle. And in here, the first child that we're going to have, I think we're going to have an icon. Say icon, then inside here we say icons dot flutter dash. Okay, which one are we going to go with? Okay, we'll go with the outlined. Then we give it a size. We say 80. And we give it a color. For real, I can't spell. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have right now. And as you can see, it's sort of shoved in the top left corner. So we'll solve that in a bit. So let's have the next child. So the next child is going to be a text field. Then the other one is going to be a password text field as well. Then we're going to have a text widget for the question. Then Lastly, we're going to have an elevated button. So let's get to that. So first thing that we're going to have is the text field. So we just, okay, we say text field. Then inside here, the first thing we're going to have is the decoration, then input decoration. Okay, so inside the input decoration, we're going to have an int text saying user name. Then the next thing that we're going to have is the int style for the text style. Then we say text style. Then we're going to give it a color. It's going to be white, by the way. Then the next thing that we're going to give it is the field. We set it to true. Then the field color. So we're going to give it a white color. Then we lower its opacity with opacity. Then we give it an opacity of say 0.1. Okay, we'll see how that is going to look like. Then we have the border. So it's going to say outlined input border. Why do I always get this one wrong? Oh, it's not outline, it's outline, it's outline. Then inside here, we're going to give it a border radius. So a border radius of which is going to be border radius circular. Then we set this one to 10. Then the border side. So we can just say border side and set it to none. Okay. So then outside here, I think we can give it a style. Is it outside here? No, style. Okay. Then this is going to be the text style. Then the text style that's going to be entered there is going to be white. Okay. So I think we're done with this first text field. Let's see what we have. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Then, so with that being formatted, let's try to, I think we'll just replicate this. You see what we'll do. Control C. Then here we can give it a space. We can say size the box and give it a height. So we're going to give it a height of 10. Then we just use the same text field so that we don't waste much time. Then here we can just say password. Then we can give it an obscure text and set it to true so that when the user enters the password, it won't be showing what they're entering there. Then the next thing we can give it is an elevated button. So yeah, let's give it some space as well. So sized box. Give it a height of 10 as well. Then, oh yeah, we have to have a row for the question first. The children, then inside this, going to have a text. saying, okay, okay, so we're just going to copy the style from here, then give it here. Then we'll just copy this text again and paste it down here and make it. Okay, so we're just going to give it a font weight. Set it to bold. Okay, so here we're just going to say sign up. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so we have two text fields and this text as well down here inside the column, inside the row, I mean. So we're going to give it a min axis alignment, so to center that. And then set it to center. Then let's see what we have. Okay, so the text is centered. So with this ones, we're just going to wrap them inside a padding. So, but before we do that, let's make a button. So we're going to have an elevated button. Okay, we're going to give it an empty function here. Then the child is just going to be a text widget saying log in. Okay, so here we forgot to. So we also need some space between the two text fields. So we can just copy this. So in here, instead of saying height, we say width. And set it to, let's set it to something like 8. Okay, so as you can see, the button looks so bad. We have to style this button as well. So let's do that. Let's format the document. Okay. So here we're going to say style. Then we're going to give the button some style. So say style. I mean elevated button dot style from. Then this is where we're going to put the styles of this. So we're going to give it a background with some opacity. So we say background color. I think we can just give it the background color white for now. The white. Then the other thing that we're going to give it is a shape to make it look a bit better. So it's going to be a rounded rectangular with a rectangular border here. Then we're going to give it a border radius as well. Border radius of circular, and we give it 10. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Then I think we can set this elevation to 0 to remove this sort of an elevation that it has by default. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Then I think we can give the child inside here some some padding. So we can just simply wrap this inside the padding. Okay. Okay, we can just ignore that for now for easier readability. So we're going to say the padding is going to be symmetric. Then we give it a padding both horizontal and vertical. So horizontal, we're going to set the padding to, I'll say 32. Then the vertical, we're going to set the padding to something like 12. Let's see what we have. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to have is, let's see, I think we can change the text color for the child. So please come here and say style. Then color. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so can give it a font size and we can set it to 18, something like that. Ish. No, that's too much. Okay, so let's say 14. Yeah, again too much. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm very bad at this, very bad at typography. So that's what we have. So we can just simply wrap this inside the center widget. So we can just say center. Then it centers the entire container. Then in here, we can just give this a padding and see what we have right now. So I think we can give it a padding of, say, only, so that we just give it the padding on the left and the right. So left, we give it 18. Then the right as well, we give it 18. So 18, both sides. Okay. Then I think we can also give this the same padding. Okay, so this is what we have right now. So I strongly feel like we can reduce the size of, reduce this to 300, I think. Okay, say 350. Yeah, I think that looks better, but I think we need some space between some of these widgets. So we need some space between here. So sized box. And give it some height. Then this is going to be, let's give it 10. Then let's see what we have. Okay, that looks a bit better. Yeah, it actually looks like what we had in the intro. Then here we can give it some space as well, some sized box. Give it a height. We can say 10. Okay, so let's see what we have. So this is how you can make this, guys, and it's actually so easy to make this glassmorphic sort of a login screen, or this just simply just glassmorphic container. So this is all I had for you in this video, guys, and I should see you in the next video, I guess. Yeah, I'm actually working on making a lot of videos in my spare time. So yeah, I think I'll make more of these UI based applications, tutorials. I mean, and I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more coming out. So with that being said, let's meet in the next video, guys. Thank you.